meet certain thresholds. They need to meet certain KPIs just for you. So the purpose of this video is to outline the new performance metrics that's going to be tied to the commission structure and what it's going to take to get there, right? Because we have to tie productivity to the commissions, right? So it's like basically you're going to opt in or qualify for the possibility of having a commission. The metrics are going to remain the same. What's going to be different here is the bi-weekly performance. So in the document that you guys are going to get that's going to be attached to this, it will have the dates, right? That shows the dates of how we get to that 2 weeks calculation. But we're going to set a certain goal for each of these teams. Each company is going to have a goal, and we want those goals met, right? Now, if the goal is not met, but let's say this week you did 1,000 deals, let's just say, and that was never the goal. The goal was 2,000, let's just say, but this week you did 1,000 deals. We do not want the following week, when compared to that week, to be less than 995 for that particular team. So it's a 5% drawdown. That is the worst case scenario. If we have 5% drawdown, you still qualify for a commission. If it's anything less than that, then you don't qualify for a commission for that particular team. So let's say you're working on MHE, absolute, and the goal is 3,000 deals for the 2-week period. Let's just use that number. Let's say that you didn't hit the 3,000 deals, but you hit 2,000 deals. And the week before that, you also hit 2,000. The compared week, right? The compared period prior to that, you also hit the same 2,000. You would still qualify for a commission. But let's say that before that, you would hit 2,500 in the compared 2 weeks, and now you're at 2,000, which means that it's more than a 5% drawdown, meaning that you underperform what you did last 2-week period, and that now puts you in a position where you don't qualify for a commission for that particular week. And you can't make that up. So if you missed the opportunity because production was just low from our end, right? We just didn't execute like we should have to remain competitive with what we did the prior week and continue that upward trajectory going forward to the goal. If that didn't materialize, then we just don't deserve a commission, right? Because the commission is tied to performance, but not just individual performance, it's the team's performance. So the entire campaign needs to meet certain thresholds. They need to meet certain KPIs just for you guys to buy into that commission. Now, it affects everyone, managers, processors, everybody is involved in the process. So once we have not met the requirement to actually qualify for a commission on one particular company, that's it. Nobody on the campaign gets commission. So it is imperative that we all work together to accomplish the goal of continuous improvement. Now, there is a baseline. So let's say that the commission is target for a particular company is 2,000, let's just say. So we have a 2,000 deal target over a 2-week period of time, which is 1,000 per week, right? Either way, once you get there. And now let's say this week you did 2,500. This pay period, this 2-week period. And then 2 weeks afterwards, you did 2,200. Even though that's more than a 5% drawdown, you would still qualify for the commission because you've met the company target for that particular company. So I don't want you guys to get too hung up right now on some of the newer companies that we have a target of like 2,000 deals for the 2-week pay period. It's not that I expect you to get to 2,000 deals on those tomorrow morning. It doesn't matter, right? But let's just say we did 300 for one particular company. Let's use Terravita, and we did 300 deals. We don't want to have more than a 5% drawdown our next 2-week pay period. So for example, you got paid your commission because you only did 300. Let's just use 300. 5% of that, 515, it would mean that you can't do 295 deals the next pay period. It would disqualify you from a commission. Commissions. Do you understand? So of course there's factors that are involved, and the factors can't be anything that affects your performance. It has to be from a company standpoint. So for example, let's just say that we just never got the calls in. We never got enough deals from the front end to come in. Then I wouldn't hold you accountable for those performances because it had absolutely nothing to do with you, right? You couldn't have done it out of thin air. You understand? Let's say there's a natural disaster and we have to compare to what happened the week before. Then that would be one of those situations that would mitigate circumstances, and you wouldn't have to be held responsible or liable for it in a sense, right? So it wouldn't count against your ability to get a commission. It wouldn't disqualify you. So it's very important that you guys understand. I know you will have questions. If you have questions, we'll make an attempt to answer as best as we can. But I want to make this video that will accompany the document so that it's very clear as to what qualifies you for a commission. Once you hit the target, no matter what, once the target for that company is hit, you're good. Everybody qualifies for a commission. Commission amounts and everything is going to remain the same. You just got to make sure you hit the target. You also have to make sure that if you don't hit the target, your weekly performance versus the prior is not less than 5% of what you did prior. You must be more. So to be safe, if you did 300, do 305. Do you understand? If you did 500, try to get at least 5, and that puts you in the safe zone. Okay. So then the qualification standards doesn't affect anything, right? You'll just earn the commission for that pay period. And so hopefully it's clear. Once you hit the target, there is no issues whatsoever. Once you hit the target for the company, you're fine. Okay. Ultimately, the goal is to definitely hit the target and supersede the target and continue along that trajectory. Do you understand? So yeah, hopefully that clarifies that for you guys. And if there's any other questions or any concerns, someone can reach out to me on Slack. Have your team lead reach out, and I'll do my best to answer any questions surrounding that, right? So the goal is to tie performance, because we know what happens, right? Some people are there, they're not pulling their weight on the team, they bring down the entire team. And so this effort ensures that everyone gets on board, everyone does what they're supposed to do, and if someone is not, bring that person to justice, okay? All right, so yep, let's see if we can meet all these targets. The targets are going to be outlined on each of the, for each of the company. From time to time, I may change those targets, whether up or down. And when we do so, we will announce it. I will make sure that you guys get it in writing as well. And let's be as productive as we possibly can be, okay? It's the goal, all right? Thank you.